English video channel learning English by repetition. Practice is the best way to improve your English. Listen, speak and repeat the following sentences. The world on two wheels. Lucas always felt a sense of adventure burning inside him. Growing up in a quiet town in southern Brazil, he used to stare at maps for hours, tracing his finger along imaginary routes. His dream was simple, to travel the world on two wheels. After years of saving money, working as a mechanic and freelance photographer, he finally bought the motorcycle that would carry him across continents. It was a used dual-sport bike, tough, rugged, and built for the unknown. He packed only the essentials: a tent, a few clothes, basic tools, a camera, and a journal. On a sunny morning, with a tight hug from his mother and the cheers of a few close friends, he set off down the dusty road that led out of town. The journey began in Brazil's interior, winding through the Pantanal and into the Amazon. There, he spent nights camping under the stars, listening to the sounds of howler monkeys and the hum of insects. In Manaus, he met a group of travelers who helped him load his bike onto a cargo boat heading up the river. Crossing into Colombia, he rode through lush green mountains and vibrant towns. In Medellin, he stayed with a local family who invited him to dinner and shared stories of the city's transformation. From there, he traveled through Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia, feeling the altitude in his lungs as he climbed the Andes. In Chile's Atacama Desert, the bike broke down for the first time. He had no cell signal, little water, and the sun was unforgiving. Just as he started to worry, a group of motorcyclists from Argentina appeared. They helped fix the bike and shared their supplies. That night, they camped together, telling stories by the fire. Crossing into Argentina, Lucas felt the warmth of the people instantly. He was invited to barbecues, given free repairs, and even offered a bed by complete strangers. In Patagonia, he rode alongside glaciers, dodged wild guanacos, and almost lost his tent to fierce winds. After shipping his bike across the Atlantic, he arrived in South Africa. The roads were rough, and navigating unfamiliar cities was a challenge. In Namibia, he got lost for 2 days in the desert, but a local farmer on a donkey cart led him back to the main road. In Kenya, he met a young man named Daniel who invited him to stay with his family. They lived in a small village with no electricity, but Lucas said it was one of the most peaceful places he had ever been. They cooked over a fire, laughed late into the night, and talked about dreams and destiny. By the time he reached Egypt, Lucas had grown lean and strong. He walked through the temples of Luxor and the pyramids of Giza, marveling at human history. His motorcycle, dusty and scarred, felt like a part of him now. Europe was another kind of challenge: faster highways, strict border controls, and higher costs. But Lucas was determined. In Italy, a local mechanic refused payment for repairing his clutch. "You remind me of my son," the man said. In Greece, a cafe owner gave him free meals after hearing his story. He explored the Alps, camped by lakes in Switzerland, and wandered the streets of Paris with his helmet under one arm. In Scandinavia, he chased the northern lights, shivering in his sleeping bag but too amazed to care. Russia was vast and lonely, but even there, truckers waved and offered him food at roadside stops. In Mongolia, he found himself riding for hours without seeing another soul. His bike broke down again, and he feared he would have to abandon it. But a local herder, seeing the problem, fetched his brother, a mechanic in a nearby town, and together they got Lucas rolling again. China was overwhelming, with massive cities and endless highways. But Lucas met fellow travelers, and they formed a temporary caravan, sharing food and stories as they moved towards Southeast Asia. In Thailand, he found joy in the food and the smiles of strangers. In Cambodia, he visited ancient temples and met a monk who told him, to travel is to find yourself in the world, and the world in yourself. Australia was wild, with kangaroos on the road and heat that pushed his body to the limit. But he also found peace riding along coastal cliffs and sleeping near the ocean. In the U.S., he rode from California to New York, camping in national parks and stopping in small towns. In Colorado, a couple gave him a warm place to sleep during a snowstorm. In New York, he visited Times Square, took a picture with his bike in front of it, and smiled. Finally, he returned home to Brazil, for years after the day he left. He had crossed over 60 countries, survived deserts and snowstorms, and lived on less than he ever imagined possible. His motorcycle was covered in stickers and dents, each one a story. His journal was thick with notes, maps, and photographs. But more than anything, Lucas carried with him the kindness of strangers. He had learned that no matter where you go, people are more similar than different. Most just want to live in peace, care for their families, and help someone in need. Kindness, he discovered, is a universal language. When asked what he had learned most from his journey, Lucas always said the same thing. The world is big, but the heart of it is good. One. What inspired Lucas to travel the world on a motorcycle? Lucas was inspired by a lifelong sense of adventure and the stories he heard growing up. He often dreamed of exploring the world and eventually decided to make that dream real by traveling on his motorcycle. 2. What challenges did Lucas face during his journey? Lucas faced many challenges, including his motorcycle breaking down in remote places like the Sahara Desert and Mongolia, running out of food, getting lost, and dealing with harsh weather conditions like snow and desert heat. Three. How did people around the world help Lucas during his trip? Strangers helped Lucas in many ways, fixing his motorcycle, offering him food, a place to sleep, and emotional support. Despite language barriers, people showed kindness and generosity everywhere he went. Four. What did Lucas learn from his travels? Lucas learned that there are good people all over the world and that kindness is a universal language. He also discovered the value of humility, patience, and understanding different cultures. Five. How did Lucas feel when he returned to Brazil? Lucas returned with a full heart, feeling grateful and changed. He carried with him unforgettable memories, stories, and the belief that although the world is vast, it's filled with kindness and connection. Thank you for watching the video. Keep practicing every day to improve more and more. Please, remember to like, share and subscribe. Your help is very important to us.